Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the last bastion of really good
Tom,
talk radio.
we're not the last bastion.
Okay, there might
there
be
are other people they can listen to.
There might be other bastions. We're the one you want to listen to, right?
You're listening. You
Tom
know what?
and Steve.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you for listening to the Local Show. And viewing.
And viewing on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Zoey Advertising. You put Zoey Advertising in YouTube, you'll find the Local Show. And maybe you have a business. Maybe you'd like to be interviewed. Let's have a conversation. Every week we're interviewing,
We champion local business.
8 businesses. We'd love to have you. I was going to say send an email to Tom, but he'll never return it. So feel free to send an email my way, steve@zoeyadvertising.com. Or you go on the website, Zoey, and you can fill out a form if you want. Doesn't matter. But let's start a conversation because we do find I was going to say pleasure. It's a lot of fun to help businesses get out there.
Grow, yes.
And for people to find them. And every week we hear from people that are on the show, oh, I can't believe how many people heard me. So-and-so heard me, and so-and-so hasn't heard me in years. And that happens a lot. And that makes us smile, and it helps Tom.
It's been a wonderful partnership with us and iHeartMedia for this.
They're dandy.
Very
and
good.
It's kind of fun. And you don't suck, Tom. You're pretty good.
Well, I try.
Now that you're a graduate and everything.
Now that I'm a graduate of OCC, 59 years. Dave and Andy Martin are builders and owners of Martin Custom Homes. They're here with us right now to tell us why they're so great, too. So good to see you guys. How are you?
Thanks for having us.
Good afternoon.
You've been in business for how long as a team of home builders?
We've been building for a living for over 20 years now.
Fantastic. And what makes you different in this day and age of smart homes and different type of building materials? Now, Dave, you've been doing it a long, long time. So
from the looks of you.
I wasn't going to say.
You know what?
Poor guy.
What a way to start.
Yes. So you're still using wooden tools?
Believe it or not, I got a lot of them.
But what makes you different nowadays in the way that you guys build homes compared to maybe some others?
Boy, we're still old school. We're still building pretty much the same way we always did. Just some materials are different now and stuff like that. Electronics, Wi-Fi switches, smart thermostats, and incorporating all of that good stuff into the build that was never there. Luxury items.
Sure.
And that's one of the good reasons why to build a new home is you're able to install all those items now, where it used to be that to get some of those items in your home, it was major refits.
Right.
Now it's becoming a new norm.
Right. And if I buy the old cape that's in North Syracuse that I see online that maybe should have cost $90,000, it looks like it's $250,
Right.
and it doesn't have any of those things. Right?
No, you've got to go and retrofit all that stuff.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. So in the process, when someone builds a house, Tom, you're doing some remodeling over at your place and doing some things. When someone builds a house, there are hundreds and hundreds of decisions.
Oh, lots. Yeah,
Which doorknobs do you want on the deer?
Yeah.
Well, there's
Trim,
the chrome, there's the pewter. I mean,
so
how does someone not lose their mind trying to make those decisions? And how can folks like you help them? Because it seems overwhelming.
Proper guidance, giving them plenty of time, giving them a guidebook to follow, which everyone that builds with us, they get a home book, we call it. It's a binder, and it spells everything out of what we're looking for, where they can go to shop, where they should start to shop. They can go anywhere. They are not limited to just one specific store. Okay.
So I can just hit pause. So if I like pewter doorknobs that look like they're made in the 1500s, and you have a book, I can purchase. I don't have to go, well, these guys.
No.
I can do that, and I make those decisions on my own.
You can make those decisions all on your own. We work with interior designers as well. You don't have to. We have an interior designer who we work with on a regular basis. We work with several, actually.
Yeah, but I mean, you can automatically, we give 6 hours at a time with Ed Loren, who does all of our parade homes.
Oh, right.
Okay,
right.
so they have that opportunity to help them make selections, to go over, if they need tile and they're going to a place like Dale Tile or Best Tile. Sometimes it's hard to negotiate those.
It is. Oh, it very is.
And it's nice to have somebody there with you that knows where everything is and how it works.
So you got a married couple, right? They're in their 50s. They want to build a home they want to stay in. Who makes the decisions? The guy, the man, or the woman?
That depends on the couple. Really, it does. Right. I mean, you see it a little bit of both ways. I want to tell you, we were at a contract signing once with a young couple, and he was like the one making all the decisions. We didn't see much of her at the beginning, going through the whole process.
Sure.
But when we got to the contract signing, she was there because she had to sign the contract.
Yeah.
And he's starting to talk about, she says, no, that's not going to be that way. No, that's not going to be that. Well, I told him, before we sign the contract, you guys got to come to some kind of agreement, because otherwise it's going to be hell on wheels.
Yeah, right.
If you don't do,
you don't want to be responsible for breaking a couple up.
But they usually work it out without a problem, especially if there's, 10 people around them saying, don't do that. And the one person wants to.
Yeah.
Usually that'll win.
Well, you guys have got to be like an ambassador to so many. You got the architect, Tom. You got
a marriage counselor.
Yeah, right. And I wanted to ask that: do you need to work with an architect, or will you guys do the actual structure?
So we can handle all of that. People have brought plans to us already from an architect. They may have their own architect that they want to work with, and that's not a problem either.
Yeah.
But we work with an architect on a regular basis.
Do people think they're an architect and they're not?
Some, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. How difficult is it to do business here in Syracuse, New York, and in New York State, and build homes these days with the government?
Well, I mean, it's
all over you.
it's getting more challenging right now with
very much
more regulation that's being put on with what we can do and what we can't do, in natural gas and no natural gas, and all of those.
How do you know how to build?
How do you know?
There's so many questions that are unanswered right now. Going forward with the mandates to natural gas not being used after 2025.
Right.
Okay. That we just don't know.
Hurry up and build now.
There's questions that
Let me sum that up.
Have.
The government still doesn't have the answers.
They don't have the answers.
They're flying by the seat of their pants.
Nobody knows what the costs are out there.
Right.
Nobody knows what it's going to cost to heat a home, totally.
Yeah,
you're asking for studies, and the last study that was done in the early 2000s, and there's nobody that has the answers. You ask them all.
So if somebody wanted to build a home and they're, you know what, we've been looking, we haven't found what we wanted.
Right.
The process and time, and they called you guys today and said, hey, let's talk about this. Does it take a year? Does it take 6 months? It takes 5 years? What's the timeline?
Yeah,
I've done it in as few as about 3 or 4 weeks. That's it. When they had nothing and they came and sat down with us for a half an hour, and literally we were into a signed contract and rolling with building a house in about 4 weeks.
And when did they move in?
They'll move in between 7 and 9 months after that.
Okay, so that's a reasonable timeline.
Yeah.
7 to 9 months is what it's taking.
It used to be 140 days, but not anymore.
Right.
You just can't get products and everything that quickly.
All right. Well, call these guys, would you, folks? Do yourselves a favor, and if you're at all in the market for a home, check them out. Dave and Andy Martin Custom Homes, 452-3245, 452-3245, mch-cny.com. Thank you both for being here, and you guys have a great rest of the day. Okay?
Thank you,
fellas.
All right. Sheila Ostrom's up next, owner of Senior Home Care and Alzheimer's Solutions, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.